Good morning and welcome to Hope, Faith, and Joy Daily Devotion. I guess I'm having some problems this morning with the internet, so you might have gotten half a devotion already, so my apologies. But we will try this one more time and see what happens. So we're looking at the gospel, or excuse me, I don't know where I'm going now. I'm all over the place. We are looking at Ruth chapter 3, which we find is very interesting. There's some fun things that are going on in this chapter, and we'll take a closer look at some of the double meanings that we find in the Hebrew along the way. But let's just kind of dive in and see where it takes us this morning. So we find that Naomi is now concerned about Ruth's security. So this word security can mean a couple of different things. One, it can mean marriage. I need to get you married. Two, I need to get you connected up with somebody so at least we have money coming in. Because we're just kind of barely making it through. And so we have that sense that we've got to find a way that you can prosper in this country that I've brought you to. So what do we need to do to help bring you security? And of course, we realize very quickly that Naomi's idea of security is getting Ruth connected with Boaz. Probably marriage is what she's thinking. And so they start to use this word for Boaz as the kinsman, but it's more than just a kinsman. He is actually their kinsman redeemer. So there's this sense that he's going to save their family. Now, Naomi's thinking through marriage, but there's other ways that he could save the family. I mean, he's rich, he's wealthy, so he could be just giving money to the family. He could invite them in as servants. He could do a couple of different things to help secure the family. But of course, we know that Naomi, of course, has got marriage on the mind. So she decides to instruct Ruth how to go forward with this marriage. And she says that when he's finished with his work tonight, after he's had a good meal and he's probably slightly inebriated, that you need to go wash yourself and anoint yourself. So you need to show that you're out of mourning, that you're ready to be married, you're ready to move on. And so, and she says, go lie at his feet. Now in the Hebrew, it says something a little bit different. It has one of these words that the people at the time would have got the understanding. It's like, go lay at his lower half. So you are going to be there, at his lower half, and whatever he says to do, you are to do. And so we find that Ruth does as she is told. That she waits till he has gotten drunk and he has fallen asleep. And then she goes up to him and, uncovers him. So a lot of time uncovering means nakedness, that there's this sense of, all of that. And so she lays down at his so-called feet. And then what we find out is at midnight, he wakes up. So he slept it all off. And now he's like, uh-oh, who's here? What's going on here? And Ruth informs her that she is a kinsman. She's not claiming herself a foreigner anymore. She is now saying, I'm part of your family. And because I'm part of your family, this is where she goes against Naomi. She goes, this is what you need to do. You need to treat me as kinsmen and kinsfolk. So instead of listening to what Boaz says, Ruth is like, I'm going to tell you what needs to happen. And since you're kinsman, I need you to be our redeemer. Now, this impresses Boaz. This actually is a good thing for Ruth because he recognizes that she's loyal to this family to all ends. She wasn't looking out just for herself because she could have just gone out, found any man. As Boaz said, you could have had any man, rich or poor, young or old. But what you decided to do was stay within the family. And you're looking to follow the tradition that anyone from this family would have done. You're not acting as a foreigner who's just trying to get their way in the world, but you are trying to secure this family. And so it impresses Boaz. And so Boaz says, okay, I'll be your redeemer. But this redeemer thing is twofold again. Remember, he can just give them money and the marriage or marriage. And what Boaz says is like, there's another guy who's more closely related, and he's the one who needs to take care of you. So what we find out is that they lie down for the rest of the evening. It says she lay at his feet until the morning. And then in the morning, he's like, you got to get out of here before anybody sees you. You shouldn't have been here, So, but what he does is as he puts her cloak on her, he gives her barley. So now he's beginning the redeemer. He's making sure that they're fed and they're taken care of. But he says, I've got to figure out what's going on with the rest of the family so that I don't dishonor the family. There's a way of getting this marriage put together, but I'm going to do what I can to redeem you. And so this is kind of an interesting thing, because remember, Ruth is going to be part of the lineage of Jesus. And so when we can kind of see how his history, Jesus, like looking at what is loyalty, what is integrity, what does it mean to be faithful, what does it mean to accept foreigners, what does it say to mean be pure? I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that helps us to understand even what the Messiah is supposed to be doing and how the Messiah is going to be acting based on this history that we have here. But we have this it's really neat that Ruth understands that she's part of something bigger. So she didn't just run off and marry anybody. She realized that when she married into this family, she was going to marry in all the way. And she's going to walk the line all the way. And so I think that's really exciting to see in that. And how do we live into our promises? How do we live into our families? These are all good questions to ask ourselves. And so that is Ruth 3, round 2. And so thanks for joining me today, Pastor Amanda, with Hope